You'll see it come through the top of the screen. There it goes. And then the camera will slew to follow it.
This newly declassified US government video of a UAP, or unidentified anomalous phenomenon, was filmed by a military drone in the Middle East in 2022. UAPs are more commonly known as UFOs.
This is essentially all of the data we have associated with this event from some years ago. That is an unresolved case we are still studying.
The director of Pentagon's new All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, the AARO, shared the video during a U.S. Senate committee hearing.
How many are still left to be resolved? Just an update from your January public report where it was 366 or something, and about 150 were balloons and about 24 were drones.
We are tracking over a total of 650 cases.
650 cases. That's what AARO is looking into, right? That is what NASA's looking into. Over 650 cases. I'm not sure technically how many full cases. I mean, if you count everything that's out there, it's probably in the thousands and thousands and thousands. You know, and that's just the stuff that's been reported, right? Most people don't even report things. So it's, you know, yeah, I don't know, people. I kind of have fun when I create intros out of a newspaper, just put in a little clip, start the show with. I don't know if you guys like the other intro better, but I've been experimenting on finding newspapers and like putting in a little short and making that an intro. If that's cool, great. If it's not, if you guys kind of like just the old-fashioned intro, let me know and I'll go back to it. I just thought the newspaper kind of intro and put in a video was kind of cool. But if it's not cool, it's not. Now we got, I don't know, I guess we got things to talk about, right? If you haven't voted yet, go to my community page and there's the link. Go to my community page. You can leave my channel. Doesn't matter. You can leave my channel real quick and go into the community page and put in a vote. And what is the vote? You're asking. What is the vote? I put in. So basically, I was looking in the internet, right? I was like, who's technically, according to the internet, are the top people who would people choose to represent them in the UFO community? And the names I have up here with multiple websites, typing it up, finding out, and of course on YouTube, I can only put 4 options. If I could put 8 or 10 options, I would have, but I couldn't. So I put the top 3 according to multiple websites, not just one, like who's considered the spokesperson that people want for the UFO community. Doesn't mean that what you want, this is just what the internet, according to social media, people want. And it's no surprise that Jeremy Corbell is number 1 on that list. No surprise. And Bob Lazar, number 2. That's not a surprise. George Knapp, not a full surprise. Surprise on how high he is on the, on the website of being the spokesperson for the UFO community. And I put myself on there. So I put myself on there. I said, what the hell? What the fuck? You know, the community needs real blood, real people. So I thought, you know what? I'll be a spokesperson for the UFO community. They need somebody real. So I put myself on there. And if you haven't put in your vote, please put in your vote. Let me refresh on this. And so far, we got 41 votes. Jeremy Corbell, 2%. Bob Lazar, 12%. George Knapp, 15%, 71%. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, and after the end of the show, we're going to recheck the voting. And if I win, I will represent you guys very well. I will start sending letters to the senators, the governors. I will send a letter to Jerry Corbell, tell them please step aside. Bob Lazar, step aside. George Knapp, step aside. You got the new kid on the block. And I will represent this wonderful, wonderful community that belongs to us, not them. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us. So far I'm winning. That's such a privilege. Thank you guys so much, because I am willing to represent the UFO community. I will do my best. I will be straight out and honest. And I don't know how. This is just a relaxed show today. I got a few videos, but not a lot. This is just you and I. The title is "The Government is Hiding Something About UFOs." The government is hiding something, and it's almost no duh. They're hiding stuff. What that is, I mean, we don't know. We don't exactly know what they're hiding exactly. Are they hiding technology? You know what I mean? I mean, we don't know exactly what they're hiding, but we know they're hiding something. And then there's something here. I'm just looking up. I'm just looking up something real quick. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. Just looking up something. Okay. We don't know exactly what they're hiding. And then the question is not that they're hiding something. The government hides a lot of things. A lot. Right? I mean, not just UFOs. They're hiding the proof existence of the cryptids. You want to say Bigfoot, Yeti and stuff, Sasquatch, they're hiding the fact that they know they exist. We know that. I guess the real question is, why? Right? I mean, seriously, what are they truly afraid of? And I'm not talking about UFOs on Earth. I'm talking about alien ship from another space. What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of that people in society will shut down? That people will not go to work anymore? Is that why they're afraid to tell us? You know what I mean? I mean, what is it? What is it that they're afraid to tell us? I mean, are they letting? Because listen, if you're a senator, governor, mayor, president, vice president, you only have power if there's people to have power in front of, right? You only have power if you have a city, if you have towns, if you have a country. You only have power. If you have nothing, if we live in a Walking Dead world, no one person has power. It just the crooks starts to try to rule. So you only have power, right? If you have a country, a state, city, town, whatever it is, mayor, governor, senator, you only have power if you have people. So is it more of they're afraid that people will stop living in society, stop living every day? That's the question. That's the question. Danny wrote, the truth is because How to Serve Man turned out to be a cookbook. That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to have people, right? Are they're afraid that corporations will crash if people knew the existence of aliens from another planet? That is the question. Now, of course, anything you do in life, certain people will take advantage of any kind of a news, right? Stop working, stop this, stop that. But at the end of the day, this is just maybe what I think. I think if they told the world that UFOs from another planet were real, if they came out and say that, I think at first it'll be a shock. Not a shock maybe to us, people like you in the chat. Maybe not us, because we always believe that UFOs from another planet are real. I mean, we're not the only life in the whole galaxy. But the question is can life in other parts of the galaxy visit us? I mean, that's the bigger question, right? That's the bigger question. Will it affect us? At the end of the day, we live in a world now that not everybody lives on a farm. Not everybody knows how to know how to plant food. No, I bet you if you took a percentage of how many people even know how to go fishing, I bet you'd be surprised that hardly anybody knows how to go fishing. So what I'm trying to get at, I hate to say this, probably the average person, if you didn't have grocery stores, you didn't have markets, they wouldn't know how to get food, right? They wouldn't know how to get food because people cannot survive. The average person cannot survive off the land. Not saying you guys can, but let's think about it. Let's be honest. The average person probably could not live off the land. So I think society would continue. They would have, unless there's an invasion coming, people will keep going to work, keep making money, because the average person cannot live off the land. We already grew up, most people already grew up in a Barbie world. Barbie manufacturing world, malls. You know what I mean? You know, everything is done for them. I mean, computers, AI does your talking now. AI does your writing now. Social media, you know, a lot of athletes have a social media manager where their tweets go to the manager first and they put it out in the world. I mean, everything is done for people. So I think people would have to continue because they couldn't do it any other way. It's just like when people said, oh, the government's going to do a shutdown. I go, no, they're not. They'll do an extension. They'll do whatever. Because at the end of the day, Republicans and Democrats can't afford the country to shut down again. It'll hurt it. You know, they only have power if there's people. You can't take a chance and let the country fall apart because they're the first ones that can't survive. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if governments went away, right? If somehow everything went away, you do got to live on your own. Can you imagine trying to go hunting with Donald Trump and Joe Biden? They would attribute no food, right? They would eat all your food, but they wouldn't even know how to attribute, how to bring in a squirrel, even a frog legs, frog legs to cook, right? Right? Our government officials wouldn't know what the hell to do if they didn't have a restaurant a block over or a store. So I had no doubt they're gonna do an extension. It's all a game because the government can't afford a shutdown because they can't afford the country to collapse because then they have no power over anybody. They only survive if they have power. They need people for power. So is that reason? Maybe that's why they're not coming out with UFOs or aliens because they're afraid that the society was shut down. I don't think it would because people can't survive on their own. I know. Can you imagine a young person? Seriously, think about it. If everything's shut down, a young person, anything they want to know in life is through this. Right here. How to cook, how to talk to friends. If this was gone, could they survive? No. They need the country. And there's an article. Let me pull up this article here. Like I said, this is a kickback show today, guys. This is just a kickback show. Let me pull up this article. And the title, and I really truly believe this title. Are aliens real? People online don't seem to care either way. I'm telling you guys right now. That is so true. That is so true. The majority of the people don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. If those aliens in Mexico was done, science all around the world did their stuff on it, and they came out and said these little midgets was real, I'm telling you, the most percentage of the people, just like the title, they wouldn't care. Majority of the people don't give a shit. Even after all these hearings, if you like the hearings or not, that's another story. People don't care. Let's see anything interesting here. The news that the government may be in possession of non-human biological matter and UFOs was met with surprising apathy online. The House Oversight Committee, National Security, the Border, Foreign Affairs, letting officially know, blah, 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 blah. While the Defense Department has said there's no evidence linking UAP to aliens yet. When they use the word department, you think everybody. But there's somebody in charge in every department. So it's, at the end of the day, it's up to that person. It's not the whole department. It's up to that person who's in charge of that department to come out and make a statement. So this defense department might have came out and said there's no evidence. But it doesn't mean the rest of the people in the department doesn't believe that. You know what I mean? There's people who are in charge of departments. They're under different rules as a common worker, right? You got their own bosses, and they're only allowed to say what they want to say. So, but when you use the word department, you always think of everybody in this department thinks there's no connection. That's not true. That's just not true. Half the people in the department could believe there is a connection. 70%. But one person is in control of what could be allowed to be released and not. You know what I mean? Okay. So a hearing did a lot of memes, but many of them single how uninterested users were in the findings. The common person don't give a shit. UFO, previously a hot topic for conspiracy theorists, are now almost too mundane. To break through the news cycle, some users said. So the people who do care, of course, you're all conspiracy theorists. Every single one of you. You're all conspiracy. If you believe in something because somebody in the department says it's not real, you must be a conspiracy theorist, right? You're a conspiracy theorist. It's funny. They were talking about UFOs and non-human biologics in a hearing yesterday, and nobody is paying any attention. There are so many conspiracy theories going on right now. We aren't even fascinated by Area 51 anymore, one person wrote. Isn't that true? Remember, there was a time that Area 51 was everything. Area 51 was, like Roswell, was the top shit. But is that true? You guys, that statement, there are so many conspiracy theories right now. There aren't even fascinated with Area 51 anymore. That's because, listen, if Area 51 really did have stuff, and I believe at one time it did, all military out in deserts are experimenting on things. I was in the military. I wasn't on the military bases in the desert. I was an ocean guy. But still, there's always something. And as soon as they decided, you know what, let's tell everybody that 51 exists, they got everything out of there. I mean, would they? I don't know, right? You think to yourself, would they be that stupid to keep things on there? Well, it's not like a civilian can walk into Area 51. They'll shoot you on sight. So it's not like you can walk in, but I'm sure almost everything is not in there as there once was. But they're right. Area 51 is not really talked about. That's some truth there. Oh, what's this? A GIF. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Going up and down. That's all it is. Okay. Okay. Anything else? The knowing that aliens are real are not one person moved. Another kid. They announced that aliens are real and not one person moved. That's what I'm saying. Tell the world people don't care. Majority of the people don't care. They just don't. Others said life on Earth was too tragic and stressful to care about life on other planets. I have made that point so much. I have made that point over and over and over on this channel. You guys know this. Others said life on Earth was too chaotic and stressful to care about life on other planets. I have said that so many times. I have said maybe not just other planets, Bigfoots, paranormal. Because let's think about like the reason I could do the show because I've been injured. If I wasn't injured, let's look at it. A man, woman, binary, they, them. If you wake up in the morning, you probably got to shower, cook food. If you got kids, get them ready for school. You got to get ready for work. The morning is already stressful. Is the traffic good? You're watching the news. How's traffic? Is it raining? It's not. You know what I mean? You're already stressing because you got to get everything ready, right? You got to get everything ready. All right. Then you get in your car, your bus, however you get to work. You go to work. You work for the man who worked for the corporation making billions and billions of dollars. And, you get the small paycheck that 40% of it is going to all these fucking taxes that you never know what they're going to. Right. So you're paying over 40% of taxes. You come home at night, making sure there's food on the table. I mean, think about it. Think about food on the table. If you have kids, that's even worse. Making sure they're fed, clothes. What you got to wash clothes. You got to, and then the weekend, right? You probably is the weekend where you got 2 days off if you're lucky. If you're not forced to work overtime. And guess what? My weekend. Who I got to pay this check to? Oh, a 1-bedroom apartment in the Seattle area, $2,400. 70% of your check just went to that. Electricity bill that keeps going up. Check. Water. Check. Sewer. You got to pay the shit. You have to pay money to take a shit. Here's money. Oh, the tax man wants their money. Oh, if you want a little entertainment for kids. All right, how much is that streaming service? How much is that? Oh, by the way, you got to put gas in your car. And if you live in Washington, you're like the third to number one, the most highest gas tax in the nation. Pay more taxes. Cost me over $80 fucking to fill up my car. And so you got to fill up your car once or twice a week. $160. Taxes, 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 life. It is so frustrating that it's like, hey, Eric, there's aliens. Who gives a fuck? I got to pay this. What, aliens come now? Are they going to be coming here illegally? Am I going to have to pay higher taxes so the aliens can land? Is there going to be some kind of a house tax I'm going to have to pay for this? I mean, it's think about it. Life is so stressful. Do you even have time anymore to care what you care? And I like what too simple. Unfortunately, it's only going to get worse. And it is getting worse and worse and worse because inflation's prices go up, and this is this is this is no shit. All right, they showed they showed like the how like the inflation price then went up just in the Seattle area in 1 year. This is just where I live. I don't know what it is, right? So every year, companies, you're supposed to get your hard-earned raise, right? My wife, right now, my wife she works for the city, right? She works for the city of Seattle, and she gets, she works for a union, right? So the union came to them and said, the city wants to give you guys a 1% raise. The inflation prices went up 9%. 9%. And they want to give you 1%. And this shit you not, guys, shit you not. The mayor of Seattle, the mayor, went to another department that's done by another union and said, we're going to give you guys 4%, and you guys should take it because we're only giving them 1%. It's like, so we should take the 4% because you're only giving them 1%. And then to me, you're right there along that departments are all treated differently. You're worth more than them. They're worth more than you. Shouldn't everything just be a flat rate across the board? Everybody should get the exact same percentage. And shouldn't you get a raise that is above the raise inflation? So you can feel like, great, I'm getting an extra $30 on my check to buy one extra steak, right? So I'm telling you. So I understand why it's not that people don't care. They don't have time to care. That's what it really is. They don't have time to care, right? Here we go. Look at this one. Are aliens going to fix inflation, cancel student debt, end worker exploitation, pay any of these bills, turn the temp down on this planet, and all around being happiness to me and my best friends' miserable lives? No. Then yeah, they can get the fuck whatever this is. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I believe that people want to believe. It's just they don't have time to believe. I mean, it's just the aliens ain't gonna fix inflation. I mean, unfortunately, the president, our president, is in a freaking went to a union rally instead of trying to fix the inflation. Fix the inflation. Maybe people are asking for a lot more money because the inflation is outrageous. Maybe if you fix the inflation, make it lower, and maybe unions and people wouldn't be asking for a higher percentage. But people need to survive. U.S. Gov. Aliens are real. All of us living through a staged capitalism. Yeah, this is it. Me hearing the UFO news. Are you not shocked? Man, I got a lot of going on lately. Some users on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, pointed out the differences in how people felt about aliens, UFOs in the past compared to now. For instance, in 2019, there were calls from alien hunters to storm Area 51. Meanwhile, many online met the news about UAPs on Wednesday with a collective shrug. Right? Remember that? Area 51 and everybody wants a storm? But unfortunately, people don't give a shit no more. So to me, government should just come out and say, right? It probably costs more money to hide shit than just to come out. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. Fuck, nobody gives a shit anymore. Kind of negative. Oh, guys. Okay, I have been negative, but I'm going to tell you something. I think I mentioned it before. There really hasn't been any good like alien UFO movies, right? I'm talking about high production kind of movies. The Independence Day. There really hasn't been anything good. I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you guys have Hulu, a couple of nights ago on Hulu, there's a movie called No One Will Survive. No One Will Survive. And I thought this was just going to be a horror movie, right? It's an actress that if you see her, she's been in a lot of movies, right? So I put this movie on, and I thought the movie is about she's living alone, about another break-in movie, until something was broken into the house. I realized it was an alien. I'm like, what? Is this a monster movie? No, these were aliens. I mean, they had an abduction, aliens picking up people, leaving the town. I won't tell you the story, but I was impressed. This was a great freaking movie. Didn't even know. It's on Hulu, and it's made by Fox, which technically Fox owns by Disney. So if you're looking for a great UFO alien, where the whole movie is they're trying to abduct this girl, and they want to plant something, and she kicks ass in a certain way. I'm not gonna tell you anything about it, but I was like, holy shit, this is a great alien UFO movie. So, and Dina, some parts scare the shit out of me. Dina, my wife, she got scared like it was. So it's a horror movie first. It's a horror movie first. Then the alien is just what's the evil thing fighting. No different than a haunted house or something. So it's not Independence Day of this thing coming. It's about survival of somebody breaking into your house. It just happens to be that narrative of the story is UFO alien. So if you haven't seen it, and I was shocked. I was like, I didn't even know this was coming out. And look, and this was weird. This was a great movie. 6.4 out of 10. I don't get it. I mean, it should be at least 8 out of 10. Because it wasn't. Did people want two more alien in it? It had enough in it, so it was perfect. And guys, the biggest problem is you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys something. I did a little experiment. Right? I did a little experiment. I was walking my trail up on a hill where the Mary Island incident happens. And there's 2 items in the sky. I took a picture of it. I'm bringing this up because I want to tell you guys. Let me pull it up. Let me pull this up. Okay. Right here in this picture, on top of a hill, taken by me. There's 2 lights, right? 2 lights. And I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can. I know I can't zoom in as much as I can. But you see like 2 lights. So what I did was I have a Twitter account, Paranormal Highway, but I also have another Twitter account. It's like my test. I'm not gonna tell anybody what that is. So I put this on there, and I wanted to see what people think. What is it? It was like simple. What did I capture? What did I capture? On the other side, oh my God, you really got something. Those people, the UFO. The majority of the people said, I really caught something. And there's one page. I mean, it was like everybody thought I caught 2 UFOs because that happened about Mary Island. I did a test. I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. You know what those 2 things are? They're airplanes. I was living by the airport. With my eyes. They're regular 747 airplanes. I took a picture on purpose because with no manipulating at all to the film, it took the planes more like a light. And the only reason I did this because it's how easy it is to trick people that something in the sky can be the real deal. And if you look at it, it just looks like 2 lights, but those are regular 747 airplanes. And I saw it with my own eyes. I had an airport, but I took the picture. And when I looked at the picture, it made it look like 2 lights. This is even without manipulating. So, and then the reason I'm doing this is I'm not here to say there's no UFOs are real, but you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Because I didn't even have to manipulate. And I did a test page, not with my name. People thought I caught 2 UFOs when those are just airplanes, with no manipulating, no nothing. And on my camera, if I zoom in even more, it looks so spooky because the light was not even the shape of the airplane. So it is easy to manipulate. So you just got to be careful. Like here, I do have a couple of videos. Like this is I'll show something and this is like Thailand news hospital site. Let me pop up this video.
Hospital director in Khon Kaen has posted a video of which he claims are 4 UFOs. Now, Subachak Kusonlawat, the director of Bantan District Hospital, reported witnessing 4 UFOs over Khon Kaen province in Isan. While on the hospital's 2nd floor, Subachak saw a stingray-shaped UFO, which was soon joined by 3 smaller crafts before all disappearing into the clouds, an event he captured on video. The sighting came just before a storm, with skies clearing post-incident. He had previously seen a UFO a decade ago, but lacked the means to document it. Another individual, former MP candidate Kun Utawadi, also reported a UFO encounter in June, claiming it reacted to her greeting. So it seems that it's not just Mexico, it's not just America, it's also Thailand that's getting visited, people. Who knows, man? I love a good UFO video. It's always funny. I know, I saw the video. Is it just a cloud? I don't know. Who knows? But I'm one of those people that wants to believe. And I am firmly suspicious that we are not being told by everything by our powers that be. So let's keep questioning. I'm going to keep posting these stories because I want to keep what the answer is.
Okay. And what the reason I played that was He's absolutely right. It's just not Mexico. It's all over the world. And if I look at that, that looks like a cloud. It does look like a darker shaped cloud, but listen, if I hate to say this, and I don't mean to say this. Oh yeah, hold on. There's a lot more people in the chat now. If you have not put in your vote on who do you want to represent you for the UFO community. Put in your vote right now. You can leave my channel, come back. Oh, hopefully you come back and put in your vote. And then at the end of the show, we're gonna re-look at the vote on who do you want to represent you for the UFO community. If you see on here, you got Jeremy Corbell, you got Bob Lazar, and George Knapp, and me. Now, the reason, now some of you might say, Eric, how come these other people more important than them? The reason I picked Jeremy Corbell, Bob Lazar, and George Knapp, because I looked at several sites, and most all sites, these were guys in the top 5. So I went by several sites, and these guys in the top 5. Jimmy Corbell was ranked number 1 to represent the UFO community. Bob Lazar was ranked number 2. And I was surprised that George Knapp was ranked number 3, but he was ranked number 3. And I put myself on there because I am willing to represent you guys. I am willing to represent you guys in the UFO community. And I'm not going to lie for you guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie for people. You know, I did, and how easy it was. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Now,
Adi also reported a UFO.
Listen, or you know, hold on a second. Let me go back. Hold on. Go back. If Jeremy Corbell told people that what I caught was real, I guarantee you 90% of the people would have said Eric captured 2 real UFOs. Even though those are Jeremy Corbell did, you guys know this. People, not you guys, majority of the people will not question me on those. But at the end of the day, those are only 747s.
Counter in June.
And apparently this shot here, not through this guy. Oh, this guy got thousands of views on it. But the original shot of that hit almost 1 million clicks. Think about that. 1 million clicks. It's truly amazing. And I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm wrong on this. If I say this, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Manipulating pictures, photos, and all that. Listen, you can manipulate paranormal. You can or ghost spirits. You can manipulate Bigfoot, cryptids. We all know that people do, but they're real stuff out there. But people can manipulate. But UFOs are the easiest to manipulate. If you really truly think about it, because manipulating a Bigfoot, you gotta have some kind of distance of what you're taking, right? Of a picture, right? You gotta have some kind of distance. Even a shot of a ghost, you gotta have some kind of a distance in a house. But UFO, the distance for a UFO is way longer than paranormal, catching a ghost or a Bigfoot. Way harder. And you don't even, what I mean is, you don't even have to do much at all or almost nothing to a shot on how high versus manipulating a Bigfoot or a ghost. It takes a little bit more to manipulate. What I'm saying is to manipulate a ghost picture, a Bigfoot picture than a UFO. It's so easy. And it's amazing to me how many people are already on the bandwagon. And, you know, Cosmic Neighbors Cosmic Neighbors Ron was on my channel, and he did it on his channel too. Showed us the website. God, I forgot the freaking website. Hey, Ron, if you're still here, put in that website of how much garbage is in space around the moon. Like how many satellites? I mean, when you look at his thing, it's like a full garbage that's surrounded by on this planet. Just the garbage. With all, I mean, it's amazing, people. If you haven't seen it, so what I'm trying to get as there's like so much garbage. What if a lot of things people are seeing are just that? And the thing is, why I'm bringing this all up, because we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to stick together and weed out the garbage, because it's hard for us to make. Like, I am willing to make a stand for you great people. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to start sending the letters out to Jeremy Carmel. Step aside, because I'm taking over. I'm going to start sending emails, letters. I am. On the news channels, I am going to be the representation for the UFO community. Right? I'm going to do it. Because you just don't know. We don't know what's real. Right? Like here. I do have another video. Let's do it. New claims. Oh, I am. I got a beautiful letter written up by the AI, artificial intelligence, to help me out, because I'm not an expert writer. I admit that. And you guys are sitting on, I am willing to do it, but I'm going to do it the honest way. Right? Like, here's it's hard to find any freaking new news channels, because the only thing the news channels always do is they go back to the panels, to the UFO hearings. It's so hard to find brand new news, right? Like you got to find local channels. And so, guys, in the chat, if you have any great local news channels that does a story on a UFO or something, please send it to me, because they're getting harder and harder to find one, right? Like, let's take a look.
Well, it's not just the Department of Defense and pilots encountering UFOs. Agents with U.S. Customs and Border Patrol have also allegedly spotted them. You are looking at now newly released videos of some of these encounters. According to a new report from The Debrief, a former Border Patrol agent revealed that CPB agents seen with UAPs with surprising frequency. With us now, Ben Hansen, host of UFO Witness on Discovery Plus. Ben, it's always great to see you. So can you explain further the findings in this report?
Yeah, so it's funny because these reports just kind of land on our desk without any forewarning. This
just lands on his desk. These reports just land on his desk. Somebody goes, hey, we got something that might raise some ratings.
one has several hundred, I think about 400 pages of FOIA requests that were released on documents of these events. And then they released about 10 or more videos. Now, some of these have been out there for a while, but we're going back to cases like 2013, the Aguadilla case in Puerto Rico. 2018, we had the Apache helicopter that was at the border near Arizona.
And that's the problem when you're trying to find like the latest news stories, right? And this is a brand new news show, news story, but they're going with everything that's from the panel. It's so hard. It's like you know what I mean? I mean, I don't
in
know.
all these cases, we have very high tech, the best types of imaging sensors, sometimes thermal, recording these events. And I will stress, people watch them and take it on a case-by-case basis, because a lot of them do have mundane explanation, but some are fascinating.
Yeah, they certainly are. One of them appears to show several unidentifiable objects maneuvering, unlike any...
Go fuck off. I just, you know, like I went in to look for what was the latest news for the last hour on UFOs, and you never really get anything. So like here we go.
Oh my gosh, dude.
For decades, mysterious sightings like these have captured our collective imagination.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Unidentified aerial phenomena like this object captured on video by U.S. Navy pilots flying through restricted airspace in 2015.
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles.
So do aliens exist, and are those close encounters evidence they visited Earth? To separate fact from fiction, we went to the man leading a search for answers from inside the Pentagon.
I'm a long-term intelligence officer, scientist, and military officer.
Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, in his first television interview after a year on the job, told us everything is on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Technical surprise. And that could be adversary technical surprise or extraterrestrial technical surprise.
Kirkpatrick leads the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, created by Congress last year to detect, identify, and attribute mysterious objects of interest in the air, in outer space, and even underwater.
But this is the thing, right? I'm not going to play the whole fucking thing. This is the thing. He said everything's on the table. What they did not, but what they shut up. What they did not put in that interview, you may ask him, so you said everything's on the table, but he also said in another thing that he is not allowed to look at all classified information. He can only look at what they give him. So technically, not everything's on the table. If you can't read classified information, what the fuck are you doing? Why the hell even have an AARO to able to do these investigations if you're not even allowed to look at classified information? So I wish I had the answer to this. And maybe Ron, Robert, maybe Danny knows. So if AARO, let's just do example. Let's just say AARO investigates one of these videos and discovers something. Oh, Ron, I got the email. I'm gonna show it. I have it ready. I have it ready, Ron. So if they have a video and say AARO discovers something, they discovered something new, something that they can't explain, that could mean a UFO from another planet. Does AARO have to go back to their bosses with these brand new findings first before they're allowed to? Oh, wow. I don't know if you guys seen that, but when I did my thumbs up, my screen showed a thumbs up. A white thumb just came next to my head over right here. Wow. I don't know if you guys seen that, but a thumbs up. So what I mean is, if they find something new that they can explain, that or maybe they discovered enough that this thing that I saw is extraterrestrial, alien, would they be allowed to tell us the brand new findings? Or do they got to turn in those findings first? And then they say, okay, you found it, great, but this is now classified information. You cannot tell the public. Let's see. Yes, it's true. A lot of information is not subject to Freedom of Information Act. It's owned by private contractors. I have to hide my voice, Danny. I'm very shy. Oh, you saw that thumb. What the hell was that thumb? Does it recognize? Right there. There it is. Is that brand new? Does it is that AI recognizing the thumb? Isn't that scary? So it does. Now, I'm going to share this right here. Oh, Ron sent me another link too. I'm going to pull that up. Okay, now guys. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's look. I did not see that the first time. Isn't that weird? That what I mean is think about the technology of what they're using on Google's using to know that I was doing a thumbs up to show a thumbs up. And look at that. With all this junk floating around, is it possible that a lot of these UFO things in the sky is from that junk? You know what I mean? Is that from the junk? I mean, I don't have the answer, you know, and that's why now somebody will go, Eric, if you don't have the answer, why should you represent the UFO community? Why should I represent the UFO community? Because I don't have all the answers. That is why I should represent the UFO community. And that's the honest truth. Because I don't know everything. Because I don't know everything, I will do my best to learn something about whatever I'm looking at. And I will never go with the flow just because that's where the flow is. But seriously, guys, look at that. This is garbage. I mean, this is. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Seriously, everybody, look how fast that garbage is in space. So I wonder, maybe Ron can hold on. Ron wrote, hold on. Green our satellite. Watch when you turn on the debris field, right? And then this is why if you point your camera to the sky, wherever you are, you will capture things going in all directions at all times. And that's exactly my point. And you're looking at this, right? And this is real. If you're looking, and that's what's in our space, how do we know? And those things are going 1 miles per hour. I mean, look how fast that thing is. These things are going. What's great about this? There's different speeds here. Look at that. I clicked on debris. Look at the debris. It's almost like when I look at this, it's almost like, how can something fly through that? Right? It's almost like, how can anybody fly through that? But in your guys' opinion, on a clear night, I can see all that time. So Nick, you, like you said, you could probably see that at night. So if you're seeing at night, and I'm sure if you record it from the sky, you could probably upload it to your social media accounts and say you caught a UFO, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And think about that. Think about that, guys. Think about that for a second. Hold on. And if you go to my picture, right? If you go back to my picture, that's 2 airplanes. That's 2 747 that I took a picture and then I caught. And I knew there were airplanes because they look like airplanes, but on a camera, they don't. I did a test on a manipulated account that I have on Twitter, and over 80% of people said you caught a UFO. No, I didn't. Those are 2 airplanes. I was just doing it as an experiment on how easy that we want to believe so much. So much. You know? So it's hard, right? What is the government hiding from something about the UFOs, right? And also what are regular people? You know what I mean? And also, it's also I want to ask the question. Listen, there's people out there that always capture something. Always capture. It's probably the UFO junk, right? But they're coming out and they're saying, look how fast this thing's going. It's going, look how it turns. Look how it turns. Look how fast it turns. It goes this other way. This is not a satellite. And they'll say that. But when I look, but when you look at this, when you look at the debris, those debris are going everywhere. So how do we know? I know it sounds like I know it sounds like I'm debunking everything there ever is. So I don't believe in UFOs. No, I believe we've been visited. I believe in life out there. I believe they have been here. I am a believer. And we all have different beliefs how far we want to go. But I believe that these things, they get here. Of course, they're smarter than we are. They know how to get here. And I remember Dr. Wu. Dr. Wu, I don't know if Dr. Wu is still here in the chat. Dr. Wu, are you still here in the chat? If he's still here in the chat, I remember he made a pretty important comment that he believes that some of the UFO crashes aren't real to him because he believed that they would pick up all the pieces, because best way for them to investigate. Now, because Dr. Wu, now I'm not trying to put anything. That sounds bad. Put anything in his mouth. That sounds bad. That doesn't sound right. I'm not trying to speak for you at all. But I remember you make a comment that they will not leave anything on the ground for anybody to pick up. They will pick up every evidence there is. And and that's a good point. Because if they have the technology here, if you guys remember the old Star Trek series, if you watch the old Star Trek series, the idea of the Star Trek series is when they visit other planets, they're not allowed to interfere. They're not allowed to change any part of a history, even if there's going to be an explosion on the planet. The idea of Star Trek is we can only observe. Easy with the technology to just clean it up. And that's a good point. That's stuff we got to think about too. Could they? That's the idea of Star Trek, that we're only allowed to observe. So they're only allowed to observe. Now, not saying that they want to abduct people and animals, because they might observing by taking animals and stuff. So I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Because there's a lot of evidence that shows that that has been happening. So maybe they take it a step further. But it's easier for them to continue doing that if Captain Kirk said rules were made to be broken. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's the theory of what they're supposed to go by when they go to planets. But you know, listen, Captain Kirk would have to break the rules if he wanted to go to bed with 2 green aliens, right? 2 yellow aliens. So that's the idea. But the idea is the theory behind they're supposed to explore without interfering with the people on the planet. So yeah. Now don't get me wrong. If a plane crashes, it's listen. I broke a glass outside my front door going to the garbage. I had a Coke bottle. It hit the ground and it splattered. I picked it up. I thought I picked up all the glass, but every time I walk by, I always find a piece that I miss. Right? I thought I picked up majority of the crash, or the crash, the broken bottle that it fell out of my bag, hit the ground and splattered. But I missed, and it seemed like every time I walked by, I found all these pieces that I missed. So I'm glad Bob cleared that up. Like in Mary Island, all these pieces supposed to came out of the ship. Even if Bob's theory is correct, that you do clean up, just like me breaking a glass on the ground, you're going to miss pieces. It's hard to pick up unless they got some kind of a machine that's able to find every single little piece, but you're always going to find pieces. So it's just Captain Kirk looked at that hot green click and said, and it's my mission to boldly go where no man has gone before. Yeah. I used that alien stuff along with the old Korean generator to make a time machine. You know, Danny, I think I made a joke a long time ago, like if you can have a relationship with a paranormal ghost, would you, for mankind, womankind, to know if it's possible? And you're not doing it because you feel like you have your own needs, but you're doing it for the people. To go where no man has gone before, or go where no woman has gone before. So if you have the opportunity, don't you kind of have to? As science, it's for science, right? Nice alien person comes down, male, female, doesn't matter what you're into. Don't you kind of have to for science? You know, it's all for science, baby. And all that. So, all right. All right. If you haven't voted yet, we're going to look at the final count. If you have not voted on who you feel should represent the UFO community, I put what the social media has said, and I put myself up against them. Now, somebody made a joke, not a joke. Somebody said, not a joke. Someone said, "Hey, how come you didn't put Anthony's name on there?" Well, because for one thing, when you do pictures on YouTube community, you're only allowed to have 4 bars. I would have 4 bars. And I don't know if I would put a personal friend, Anthony, Ron, Bob, or somebody out there. That'd be like, because that would hurt somebody's feelings, right? Like, oh, most people voted for him. voted for him, not me. I want to do that, but I use social media. So how much am I going to put? So all right, let's check. Let's share the screen for the final vote countdown on who you guys want to represent you for the UFO community. Let me hit refresh. Here we go. 54 votes. Oh man, is this so exciting? This is so exciting, right? Jimmy Corbell, who for social media has picked number one to represent you in the UFO community by social media. Jimmy Corbell was number one. But on here, he's got 2% of the 54 votes. Second place on social media, they picked Bob Lazar to represent the UFO community. The man who they say has helped bring Area 51 to the public. Got 9%. Now, it makes sense with the one article that says nobody really cares about Area 51, right? They said nobody cares about Area 51, so that would make sense why he was dropping in the pool. So let me hit refresh. Let me hit refresh again in case any new votes came in, because we want to make this as most accurate as we can. Number 3 was a surprise for me in the social media that they picked George Knapp for number 3. Now, I use multiple sites for this, guys. I use multiple, not just one, to figure who's the 3. So he got 11%, more than Jimmy Corbell and more than Bob Lazar. That's actually alone was a shocker. Thank you so much. No, I really appreciate that. Trust me, it really does help out with the channel. It really does. Thank you so much. I know I don't always come out on the channel and say, hey, this show's funded by people. I don't really do that. You know, I feel like if people like the content, they'll do it themselves. So by you putting in $10 yourself without even me asking people to put money in really means a lot to me. And I really, truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Me as your representation for the UFO community. I win for this community. I will, starting after this show, start sending letters out to all the news channels, to all the networks. I'm going to send a personal letter to George Knapp, Bob Lazar, Jimmy Corbell, ask them nicely to step aside. The new sheriff is in town. The new sheriff is in town. And I will do my best to represent every single one of you guys. I will never make up videos, make up stuff. I'm going to go in, and I have always said this. I don't know everything. I don't. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of the game. But you know what? I will find the truth for you guys. I will do my best. And you know it's a sign of a good person to represent. A good person of anything, of any representation. A good person surrounds himself with good people. With good, solid people. That is a sign of a good representation, of a good leader that surrounds himself with good people. So if I'm unclear, right, or say I think this one video is right, I need a guy like Ron to say, Eric, that's been manipulated. Oh. And then I need a guy like Dr. Wu to bring in also some common sense and say this is probably how it could have happened. You got to surround yourself with good people. That's the key. That's the key. You want me to prove that point to you? Tom DeLonge is a great person who loves UFOs. Loves, his heart is in the right place. But the problem what happened with Tom DeLonge is he got in with the bad people. He got in with the wrong people. And some of my lights went out. I got these lights, but these lights went out. Holy Christ. Wow. What happened? Wow, I guess the aliens are really cracking down on me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start writing letters, and then I'm going to surround myself with good people. That's the key. Good people. And you got to and you got to surround yourself, not just surround yourself with good people, but different people from different communities, different fields. You know what I mean? Because you want point of views from everybody. So like I would have Ron, I would get Jessica Jones from the Cryptid Hunters. I could have her point of view. Rob, Michigan Rob, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. I would love to have his opinion. Dr. Wu, and I can't forget my brother from South Carolina, Danny Statton. I would surround myself like with these 5 people. So I'd be like, Ron, what do you think? My IT guy. Jessica Jones, what do you think? What do you know? What's your people? Michigan Rob from Michigan, what do you think? Danny from South Carolina, what do you think? Robert Wood, Dr. Wu, who's an archaeologist from college. He's a grad. People look at Dr. Wu, they think he's this crazy guy with this beard. He graduated from the Washington Huskies, bachelor degree, archaeologist around the world. People judge people by the way they look. It's fucking wrong. It sucks. It's sad that people need to start judging people on their hearts. Ooh. Oh, I don't know how to lie. So tomorrow's show. Wow. It's just, what is going on with the power? They want me off the channel. Tomorrow's show. Let me show you. Tomorrow's show is gonna be really fun. In my opinion, and I'll show you guys. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the demon werewolf transformation. We're going to be talking about some of the werewolf stories. Since Halloween is coming, werewolf is also considered a cryptid, and Ed Lorraine and Lorraine Warren. Also, you see the cover. Famous werewolf story that apparently a man from the UK, stories goes, has been able, he's called the Southern Werewolf, that has been able to turn himself into a werewolf. And apparently police have says, like, you kind of look at this thumbnail, you could kind of read it right there, fights cops on all 4s and all that. So tomorrow we're gonna explore that story from the Ed Lorraine files about the Southern Werewolf, but then we're gonna explore other werewolf stories. And I don't know, I should send a text to Bigfoot Michigan Rob, because just the other day he did he does these readings of stories from his book at night, and maybe Danny, if Danny has that link, and he just did a story about a werewolf. So maybe, I don't know if I could get him on so soon in one day. I don't know what are the chances of that you come on real quick and tell us about quickly that one of the stories that was submitted to him about a werewolf. So come back tomorrow. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be great. And then I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to do on Thursday. Of course, Friday, Dr. Wu comes on. And, I'm still have a couple ideas of a good subject. But what you guys could do is, if you guys want to email me at paranormalhighway13@gmail.com, and if there's a subject right here. Thank you, Danny. He did a great story the other day about a werewolf. So duct tape and ask your your question. So if you guys have a certain kind of topic that you really want Dr. Wu to dive into, if there's certain something, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. you sub yeah, hey. Bigfoot Michigan Rob is a wonderful guy. His channel is a wonderful channel. He listens. He's a listener first. He listens like everybody else. He respects anybody who comes on his show, lets them tell their story. And he's like a lot like me, where like when I had Tom Reed on my channel, I let Tom Reed tell us his story. I don't script questions. I want everybody to understand this. When I have a guest on my channel, sometimes I'll have a guest ask me, "What do you want to do? What do you want to ask? What are you?" I tell every guest, I don't care for none of that. I want you here for a reason. Tell us your story. And then my questions are based on what I'm hearing from your story. That's how I like to do things. And Bigfoot Michigan Rob, when I was on their channel stuff, they let you tell the story, and then they'll ask you based on the story you're telling them. Right? It's not, nobody's attacking nobody. That's what I love certain channels that I watch. Nobody's attacking nobody. It's allowing the person to tell their story, because the idea is you should done your research before you ask somebody to come on if you believe that this person can be believable, right? Can be believable. And the best way to discover something for someone is let them tell them their story. And then if you really are into, like, if that person is faking a story, you should watch their story, write it down on key parts of the story, and then maybe watch that same person on another channel to see if their stories keeps changing, it's exaggerated, because that's where it's hard to know if a story is true or not, right? It's really hard. It's more of a belief system, right? So sometimes the best way to know if somebody is when I'm not talking about different details of a story that's different, or they might have forgot to say a detail when they're speaking to somebody else, because a lot of times you're talking fast and sometimes your brain skips. But the majority of the story itself keeps changing, more scarier. This about the best way to discover if somebody is faking a story is by listening to them on multiple channels and trying to see if there's been major changes. And trust me, people who fake stories, you'll always find things that they keep changing, right? They keep changing. I think it captures people's eyes more. Oh, this worked on this worked on that. That's not the only way. But beyond that, please come back tomorrow. Let's talk werewolves, and I'll get started right now with these letters, getting it ready to tell the people that the People's Choice has spoken, and I am now going to truly represent the UFO community. I am so proud to take this on for you guys. You're all awesome. You're all wonderful people. And hopefully I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Beyond that, I will see you guys all on the Paranormal Highway.